Around the fire time again, and a bit of a smoky fire tonight. We've only got some big logs, so a bit of a different fire. I'm sure it'll pick up speed as we talk, as I'm sure the conversation will as well. As always, we're just going to talk about what happened and sort of what comes up as we talk, I think.
Yeah, good evening from myself as well, everybody. It's been a great week out here, and it'll just be nice just to recap on the adventures that have been happening here at Wild Earth. There's been a lot happening. It's been quite interesting, especially the last 24 hours. Quite a few little technical issues that we've been having to deal with, but as everyone's a lot of people are well aware of technical problems as part of the game out over here. It's broadcasting like from the middle of nowhere, so yeah, it's been quite interesting. Peter, you had quite an exciting morning today, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a very good morning. It's been an amazing week actually, the last 3-4 days especially, and this morning was I think ultimately what makes the live experience, apart from just the general experience, which is obviously amazing and quite new, the surprise aspect, the fact that we were looking for a leopard and we sort of didn't find the tracks for a while, literally looking at some nyalas just tranquilly feeding along, and it was almost a sensory experience. Didn't see the leopard at first, I just saw movement, and the next thing there was a leopard much closer than the camera at the moment, where you're sitting and where Alex is standing. So it was an amazing surprise to see. And just quickly to introduce as well everyone around the camp, just because as always you see some of it, but over there in the back is Mateo directing at the moment, Alex behind the camera, and my name is Peter, and Leishan standing over by the kitchen there having a smile as well, and of course you, and we're on the fire.
I must say the surprise element from this morning definitely went beyond just Peter and Alex out of there. Of course everyone joining them, but I was still relaxing quite comfortably in my bed this morning, being a morning off, and I was still in dreamland when I heard in faint background my name being called, and then it got louder and louder and louder, and eventually it became a very high pitched squeal and a high scream, someone screaming my name, and Mateo was running around all over the place, screaming for anyone who was around just to come and have a look at what was going on. And so I quickly jumped out of bed and came and had a look and heard about all the excitement. So it definitely was something quite special this morning to see that. And I believe Alex did very well on the camera, and it was just excellent footage to see what was going on there. But that's the nature of the game. You never know what's going to go on. Sometimes it's very quiet out there, and you're just sitting watching some nyala feeding. Next thing you've got a leopard stalking in the background. That's the beauty in it, isn't it?
Cool, yeah, so let's just listen to something else as well. One of the things, sorry, just different things going on suddenly, but one of the things I enjoyed this morning, especially Marcus, since you were talking about it now, the fact that you jumped in and that I knew that there were various people in the FCC, and also Marco jumping in with a little bit of a helping hint towards the Land Rover, which was also giving its own sort of feel to the drive this morning. Once again, like the drive on Friday, which was a very special drive, we might talk about that a little bit, and we'll sort this fire out in a second. It was a great sense of a team effort, both from everyone here, and again also we get the sense, I definitely get the sense of the participation and the positive feel as well from everyone on the vehicle, which makes it really easy to cope with whatever is going on at the time. Of course, a big leopard that's busy stalking Nyala, using the car literally as cover. That was what was happening at the time. He was using the front tires as cover to sneak around. That's why he came so close past us. And the email I referred to just now, Claire sent an email through, actually with a bit of a time breakdown of the whole sighting. It was now I forgot. I thought I'll remember all of the time. I think it was 3 minutes 59 seconds, if I remember correctly, that the sighting lasted. Within 2.13 seconds of me going, oh, there's a leopard. It really was one of the biggest surprises I've ever had from a wildlife point of view. Within 2.13 seconds, Alex, you were on the leopard, focused and following him around, and I just thought that was a very nice thing to know. Thank you for sending that through as well, Claire. And again, just like lots of things, just the things coming together in that sense to really create a cohesive, real-time experience for everyone involved around the world was one of the other aspects I personally enjoyed a lot this morning.
And I think that's also along the same subject of what we experienced on Friday, like you mentioned, Peter, especially the Africa, and that was something quite special. We were sitting over here monitoring all the activity coming in from the emails, and although the emails have been flowing in over the last few days, it's been fantastic seeing a lot more activity on the emails, and we really appreciate it. And as we always say on the drive, please just understand that we do deal with a high capacity of emails, and sometimes we're not able to answer all of them. And it's for the director, sometimes it can be quite difficult to monitor all these emails coming in and try and get them across to Peter or to answer them during the break. But when Peter mentioned that people should send through just the word Africa, we all had a little bit of a chuckle in the final control, saying this is going to be very interesting, and now we've got to try and keep up with these emails. And very faithful as everyone has been, we really appreciate all that. It just shows the amount of participation and input that people put in, and how much they enjoy being part of our game drives. And I think by the end of it we had 52, between 52, and then a few more came in a little bit after that, so between 50 and 60. So I think today that's got to be one of the biggest game drives on record.
Yeah, and certainly just people sort of speaking up, sitting on the game drive. And it's, again, as always, when I sit around the fire, there's so much I suddenly start thinking about. We were talking about it earlier, to a large extent. I personally try not to think about what we're going to talk about too much beforehand, because then it would be a prepared speech rather than just conversation. And I think one of the things ultimately that we will strive to achieve more and more, like we're doing at the moment, is to really turn this into a conversation, both in terms of what we get from you guys, and also just around everyone here. Tonight, Mateo's going to pop in just now. He's going to say something. It's his birthday, or his daughter's birthday today. We'll speak about that just now when he's here. And we've even got the very rare sighting. It is something extremely elusive. It is maybe harder than seeing a pangolin. A pangolin is an extremely rare animal. I've seen it once in my life. We're going to have the smiling Viking behind the camera there come and say something later as well. And I thought about that, Marcus, sorry, because of the Africa thing. You know, yeah. Alex has got it's actually the conversation of Africa started on the vehicle after we had quite an intense driving experience. So, yeah, again, like I said, I'm sort of just rambling on and sort of seeing what happens tonight.
It will be nice to see Alex on the other side of the camera. Been here just on 2 months myself, and it's been an interesting process. Working with Alex has always been fantastic on the camera, and a pleasure working with him on the camera. It's always been a little bit of hard work for us to try and get him in front of the camera, but he's very good and he knows it. Just doesn't want to admit it. But yeah, it'll be good to see him a little bit later on and throw a couple of questions as well about his experience out over here. So we went out on a bit of a drive, actually, Alex and myself, a bit earlier. It's been 8 months now, Alex, since you've been with the Wild Earth team, and I took him out on an assessment drive as a field guide, hence khaki shirts and the whole kits and outfit. And yeah, it was very interesting. Just Alex taking me out on a drive and pointing out some things that he had learned over the last few months. But yeah, it's been an interesting week.
Yeah, certainly. So I was thinking of wildlife, but also you mentioned going for a drive. Of course, we've had a couple of technical things. The waterhole sound giving us a bit of problems ever since the hyena stewed on some of the cables, and a few little things with that. The car also, things that will get sorted out, and as you've probably seen in the blogs, we've got a bit of an inverter problem, so there won't be a game drive tomorrow, but certainly we'll be looking at what's happening here. There's an elephant still standing at the waterhole. I can see it through the window. Lots going on there, and maybe good, just sort of all of us settling in a little bit, and tonight all getting a chat. And the outfits you mentioned,
yeah.
I haven't worn this shirt in quite a while, and when I came out I realized we're all actually wearing the same shirt, so it sort of goes with the territory, I guess. But it wasn't planned. It was purely coincidental that we're all wearing khaki tonight.
Well, that's the beauty in living in the bush. You don't have to really worry about what you wear.
I'm yet to wear that bright red shirt of mine, for instance.
Yeah.
In general.
But yeah, it's to borrow Alex a khaki shirt of mine this afternoon to take him out and drive to fit the role. He wasn't too impressed. Mostly as a South African and growing up in the bush, khaki is a colour that you just automatically know is, well, you feel comfortable in. And although I have had many comments over the years of people saying that my sense of fashion is outstanding based on my khaki attire, but when you hear a Norwegian who's not really familiar with wearing khakis and putting on the khaki shirts, it took him a while to get quite comfortable in the shirts, and now I can't get him to give it back to me. So that's a bit of a problem, so I don't know how we're going to deal with that one a little bit later on.
I will make a plan.
Yeah. But I think, should we just see if we get Mateo in here for a while and see what's...
Mateo's got a beautiful message probably regarding his daughter's birthday. It's always a very special occasion. And There's Matteo coming over, also in khaki tonight.
Yeah, we all got the khaki shirts on. Well, from myself, I'm maybe pop in a little bit later on in the conversation, but yeah, enjoy the rest of the chat with the guys. And let me hand you over to Matteo. Thanks for being with us.